What stirs your very core? What drives your existence? Are you guided by unyielding determination, always pushing the boundaries of your potential? Or have you surrendered to the seductive embrace of complacency? If you desire anything from this life other than the simplicity at offer, you must put all of yourself into everything you are and everything you do, always building off of what came before. Such is the philosophy of Dimir. If you find any familiarity in these whispers, then perhaps you align with these colors. Yet, if you remain an observer on the outside, allow me to unveil how the combination of blue-black perceives the world. Now, before we delve into the heart of Dimir's philosophy, I do want to extend gratitude to my patrons for supporting my work directly. With that, follow me as I lead you down the path to uncovering the core of what defines the combination of blue-black. Within each of us lies the seed of potential, a seed that sits dormant unless it is watered with ambition. For many people, this potential is never realized, but for those aligned with blue-black, it is the driving force behind their identity. For if one does not reach for the very dizzying heights of who they could be, then such a life is a wasted one. But potential without the ambition to grab hold of it is nothing more than an idealized state of being. We must put everything we have into bettering ourselves so that such potential is not just a dream, but is instead our handcrafted reality, one of potential built by ambition, a mindset that is unavoidable in the case of Dimir if we consider the colors present that make it up. For you see, blue is a color whose gaze is fixed upon the stars, in that it sees potential in all things, of how through molding and iteration anything can become a better version of what it once was. In the case of its partner black, you have a color who holds ambition to be the key to getting the most out of this life. For if we do not have the drive to make this life what we wish it to be, then there's no reason to go on living. When these colors come together, there is an insatiable thirst for constant improvement of knowledge, capabilities, influence, and power, as through each of these improvements, greater heights can be obtained. Dimir looks at life as a game to be figured out, manipulated, and won, rejecting wholeheartedly their shared enemy green, who spouts such nonsense as the virtues of accepting one's place, of toiling away at what you were born to be. What good are virtues when one must toil away in the mud when they could instead be a king? Dimir tells you to then reject any birthright and instead look to the image of the person you wish to be, someone strong, handsome, intelligent, and with the power to make things happen. Not to just sit around and have life happen to you. It is a weak mindset to leave your life in the hands of someone or something else, when you could very well hoist yourself out of the mud and set your fate. Dream big, never be satisfied, and always look to your potential. If you allow your ambitions to be your inner voice, then such potential can be achieved. Logic and practicality is what gives Dimir the confidence in its outlook. It does not mask its intentions in an idealized way of thinking, but rather sees the world for what it is, and thus knows it must act in the methods that best suit it. There are no saviors coming, there will be no guide, only you and what you can achieve. This also allows it freedom from pity or compassion for the undeserving, just as it expects no pity for itself. For its part of their pair, black states that it is a dog-eat-dog world, and once we can recognize that, we can remove any expectations we have of others, and instead only see what can be done on the road to what we want. With this outlook, we can take a practical approach, one that throws out any man-made convention in favor of those which provide results. On the other side, blue sees life as a calculation to be solved, a simple matter of cause and effect. There is no greater force of feeling needed. It is merely an inputting of X to Y in order to receive Z. Nothing more. This part of Dimir's philosophy leads to the cultivation of self-reliance, amorality, and pure logical thinking. By removing any outside factors and only seeing life for what it is and how it can be played, you open yourself up to the many possibilities afforded to the few who share your outlook. Some may tell you that you are shedding your humanity in doing so, relegating your outlook to the same algorithm as a computer. But to that you say, I am human. I have accepted what I am and what the world I was born into is. It is you whose mind is clouded, whose outlook is stained by rose-colored glasses. As you see, Dimir desires to control its life fully, and to allow such frivolous things to interfere would only hinder the journey to the potential they have for themselves. How, you may ask, does a society crop up with such colors as its focus? How can structure be formed when each person is looking for their own potential, when things like ambition are treated as a golden trait? To that I ask you to simply look around. Who do you see running your world, guiding your countries, and managing your states? Who holds the wealth and who holds the power? It is not those with compassion in their hearts, or those who wish to lift others up. No, the world is already controlled by those who only look to satiate their own ambitions. So what then can we learn about Dimir society? Well, let me lay it out for you. If we know that our potential should be our guide and ambition our tool to achieve it, then we must trust that those who have reached that potential should lead those who have not. If we accept that logic and practicality are the method to understanding the world, then we should allow it to structure our society. In this way, we create such hierarchies through the application of this philosophy, as those in power must be deserving of their position, for they have reached such heights by being the most shrewd, intelligent, and driven among us. Though this does not mean they can rest easy upon their throne, as those in power must do everything they can to keep it in order to validate their existence. For if they prove themselves to be too weak or incapable, then they do not deserve their position. Of course, this will skew the balance of power in favor of the few, while the many must abide by that power unless they themselves wish to take it. This is not cruelty, it is reality. Dimir simply states how things are, not how they should be. Blue-Black would call such society the rule of the deserving. It is a vision of a society that has reached its own potential through the cultivating of elite members of that society. It is by the same values that Dimir holds for itself that it demands for the state it belongs to. For this last part, I want to do a bit of a thought experiment. Think for a moment what the result would be if we were to unleash the unrestrained growth of Blue-Black's potential. The question inevitably arises, what heights could they ascend to? Could there exist a final state, a lofty, ambitious end goal that beckons them forward? To this, it seems logical to assume that such an ultimate destination must exist. For this hypothetical pinnacle, I have chosen the term the absolute. If we can accept this as truth, then let's delve into the realm of speculation and glimpse what the Dimir combination might envision as the ultimate culmination of their shared attributes. Consider for a moment the idea of a being that commands not only complete control, knowledge, and power, but also an unparalleled level of influence. This is what we refer to as the absolute, an embodiment of perfection. Think of a being that harmonizes Black's unquenchable thirst for power with Blue's insatiable hunger for knowledge. For Black's part, it is omnipotence, and for Blue, it is omniscience. This fusion results in an entity brimming with both absolute power and boundless knowledge. Such a being could effortlessly navigate the enigmatic expanse of the blind eternities, effortlessly transmuting their visions into reality. Yet, we must entertain a notion, even this zenith, as extraordinary as it is, might not be the final destination. Could their ambitions, their ceaseless yearning for progress and potential, drive them to push the boundaries even further? This contemplation raises the question of whether their thirst for growth could ever find satiation. In essence, their narrative becomes an unending saga of ambition, a testament to their perpetual quest for knowledge, power, and influence. Within the depths of each individual resides the dormant seed of potential, awaiting the nourishment of ambition to awaken its latent energy. While many may never see their potential realized, those aligned with blue-black find this potential to be the very essence propelling their identity. For to forego the ascent towards one's potential would render their life meaningless. Blue, with its gaze cast upon the stars, perceives potential in all facets of existence, envisioning the alchemical transformation of the ordinary into the extraordinary. As its partner, Black provides unrelenting ambition, which guides them to seize life with purpose, extracting the utmost from every moment. When these colors combine, an insatiable thirst for perpetual achievement arises, a hunger to refine the self, augment influence, and wield power. Dimir approaches life as a strategic game, one to be deciphered, manipulated, and ultimately won. Dimir's credo urges the rejection of preordained destinies and instead encourages individuals to envision the selves they aspire to become. Strong, intelligent, commanding, the architects of their own fates, not passive recipients of circumstance. Dimir's philosophy finds its grounding in the realms of logic and pragmatism, shedding the veneer of idealism for a stark understanding of reality. Dimir's societal structure emerges as a natural outcome of its guiding principles. With potential as the North Star and ambition as the driving force, hierarchies are forged through the crucible of mediocrity. Those who ascend to positions of power and influence are not bound by conventions, but are chosen by their capability and cunning. This alignment culminates in a thought experiment contemplating the unbridled growth of blue-black's potential, a concept encapsulated in the term absolute. This vision is that of an entity embodying absolute control, power, knowledge, and influence. In the end, the philosophy of Dimir is a reminder of humanity's ceaseless drive to reach for the stars, to seek the pinnacle that forever eludes our grasp, an unending symphony that resonates within our collective spirit. Well, thank you for joining me on this journey through the philosophy of Dimir. It's honestly one I find ceaselessly fascinating, while at the same time being very different from my own outlook on life. If you do want to know more about either of the colors that make up this combination, then consider checking out one of these videos here. And with that, friends, I will catch you in the multiverse. Bye.